everyone, and welcome to Fika for Life.
I'm sorry if you're laughing about the way I count.
Lynn counts in a very strange way. Is that how everyone counts in Germany? It's
No, it's just wasn't my left
just a Lynn
hand.
thing?
I'm sorry, it wasn't my left hand. It's just not the same.
When she gets to the
fingers.
number 1, she doesn't use her index finger. I just put it that way. It's the other one.
It's the long one in the middle.
Yes.
Well, no one was behind me, so it's fine.
Okay, well, that's fine. At least we weren't driving a car this time. Today's episode is sponsored by no one else but us. We just like to say that.
Well, we eat fika, though. We
Yes.
eat
We're eating some
oat cookies with chocolate.
from McVite's.
And we eat French waffles from Karen Wolf.
And I'm drinking an energy drink because I'm an old man now.
And I drink a very famous American brand that has a white and red,
Yeah, and
package.
they used to put the white powder stuff in there, so you know which drink it is.
Yes.
And
But we don't want.
I'm drinking pure, healthy water.
This is where fish,
This is
what
that's where exactly fish pee. Okay, well that's nice. My name is Ed Thomas. My co-host is
Lin Yuan. Hello, everyone.
Hey everyone, and we have our our very special guest today.
He's so special, it makes you.
Because he's a saint. he's so holy and righteous that I can't even speak normally around him.
Oh, no.
Today I'm not going to say anything weird or off color because he's here.
Our special guest.
Okay, I have to say the word "but" first. Okay, but okay, now I'm okay. And your name is?
My name is Timothy.
And where are you from?
I am from Uppsala.
Ooh, you liar!
But
I mean, he kind of is from Uppsala
But
because he's
Timmy
been
has
living
been
here
on
for
our
ages.
podcast before.
Yes.
Which, do you remember what episode? I don't remember.
Was it
I
like
can't remember, but
No.
we were discussing
We
some...
were talking about getting settled in
So,
Sweden,
yeah.
maybe? Oh, my memory works, although I'm breastfeeding.
I know that's really weird because I'm not breastfeeding and I got no memory. I guess I need to try that. Is there anyone out there who's maybe not producing and you want someone to breastfeed your child? Just call me up. I'm ready to start. I've got to do my part for humanity.
No one wants your chocolate milk, though.
Yes, they do. Because they say once you go black, you never go back.
What? Can you say that?
That baby's going to be like, he's going to be like, I got me some spicy stuff. I don't know. That was some good old milk. Bring me back that Ed cow.
Anyway,
What?
but actually, our topic today is not that fun, though.
No,
Or
actually.
it depends on what kind of person
Well, it depends
you are.
on, if you hate people, you might really like this topic, because it's all about it.
So our
Yeah.
topic today is disappointment and how to
Yes.
deal with disappointment.
Yeah. And that's how I was already telling everyone it's really difficult for me because everything always goes my way.
So you can't relate, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
I can't relate.
It's like the police stops me because I've been speeding, and I'm like, "Oh, officer, I really feel bad." He's like, "It's okay. You get a warning."
It's like, you look so nice, so.
Yeah. He's like, "I really love your brown eyes." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, officer." And then he just lets me go. I go into the bank where they don't like black people, and I walk in there, and it's but it's Ed.
But then it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
fine,
We like
it's
you.
fine.
We don't like those other kind of black people, but you are okay. It's like,
Well,
right.
we don't want to fall into self-pity because that's a side effect of disappointment.
Appointment.
Really?
Yes.
Aha.
How do you not know?
No, because when I get disappointed, I think it's always someone else's fault.
But then should we maybe
That's your
define...
coping.
Should we maybe define disappointment in which context?
I know a president in a big country, and
it
he
Russia?
taught me everything. He's my mentor.
Is it Putin?
No, it's the one that's
maybe.
it's the one
It's
that's like
Kim
an Oompa Loompa. Ooh, wow.
Oh.
Wow, what is it? Name your dictator. It's like, yes, that's right. I put all the names in a bowl and I just take a name out and I call him up and he's like, hey, Edvard, I want to be your mentor. And I was like, because everyone outside of the state sounds like vampires. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today.
No.
Okay.
Getting back.
But so let's be serious. Let's eat another cookie because obviously we haven't had enough sugar. That's why we're all crazy.
But Timmy was talking about that we should define.
Okay, Timmy,
Yeah.
you're a very smart, educated man. You have all
And he
kinds
looks
of
good too,
all
and
kind
he's
of-
single, ladies.
I know
Oh.
you. Let me describe Timmy for you ladies out there, because we need to hook Timmy up with somebody.
Talking about disappointment.
Well, because when I say how he looks like, they come out. He didn't look at all like that. You said he was like Superman. He ain't no Superman.
Oh, nee.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Timmy.
come on, you beautiful man. You tell us. Give us a definition.
Definition.
Well, I don't know. In a personal experience, I would say disappointment is where you get a result that deviates from your initial plan or your initial intention.
I love the way the rolls. The words just rolled right. I just got all excited. I was just like,
What is happening?
I just love to see an educated young man.
Wow.
I'm around so many people who are just like got out the cave and they're just like, ugh. So, but if you're
deviates from your expectations.
yes,
That was a nice way of expressing.
I know. I was like, I would have never come up with that. I was like, because it didn't go your way. That's the ghetto thing. So, but that's
That's very often though.
yeah. I mean,
We
it's
always have weird expectations. I guess.
Yeah, expectations and reality don't necessarily coalesce.
Are you right?
I know. I better give me some more
Okay,
energy
so-
drink.
So what was the last time you got disappointed?
Just now.
Okay. Okay, can you
It doesn't take much for me to get disappointed. It's low expectations, though.
so can you explain that?
No, I mean, okay. So I'll go to something real. I'm working on this paper that's been taking me a really long time, and it's kicking my butt.
God.
How long has it taken?
It's too long.
Oh, mine has taken 5 years. Can you beat that?
No, I've only been working for half a year.
You see?
But anyway,
Do you feel less disappointed now?
no, because I feel like I should have been done in a month, which was
Okay.
unrealistic. No, but I feel like it's taking a lot longer than what I thought it was going to take.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time I keep thinking, like, okay, now I'm at the end. I'm done. And I'm not done. And then it's hard to, I think the hardest thing is like, is it because I'm stupid? Don't answer that. I can read your mind. God is telling me what you're thinking. So he's going to get you. Or is it because I really haven't, like I've been tricking myself? So I think I'm being effective, but I'm not being effective. Is it because it's too difficult? Is it because I've bit off more than I can chew? Okay, these sound like all the things together.
Well, you should
No.
say the same things in different words.
Really? Am I? I thought I was really being creative. A, B, C, D.
No, it's my A1, A2.
Oh, wow. Okay, the answer then is that I'm stupid, obviously, No, but I think there's a lot of different things, like, I mean, because the paper is like, it's an important thing, but it's probably not like a major disappointment.
Well, it stands in the way of a lot of things.
Yeah, it definitely is. It either will open the door or it will shut it and weld it, and I'll never open it again. No, but I think there are things like, so 10 years ago I went down in weight because I had gone up in weight, and then I went down. I was looking really good, trying to get my 6-pack back, and now I'm at a 1-pack. And
It's
I look
Santa
at
Claus
It's not a
back.
pack.
I look at clothes that were
You are-
large, and I can't close the button on the large. I'm just like, large used to be baggy. Okay, wow, gee whiz, what a reality check. And then, you look in the mirror, and I'm just like, oh, what happened? I used to be so good looking. I used to love me. Now I wouldn't put a bag over my head
Preach
and
it,
kiss
brother.
me.
Yep.
And then at some point, you either have to decide, if I'm not going to change it right now, I have to accept it. And have to actually like recondition myself to accept this new reality. And then if I can change it, then I have to decide, am I really willing to
Put the
do the
work
work?
into
Yeah,
it,
because
yeah.
it takes a lot of work, and it's really difficult. And I don't, right now I don't even have the time. I know I don't. And people are like, oh, but you can make time. I'm like, I commute 4 hours a day. I don't have the time.
So, okay. What about
It's kind of strange that Ed said this because, like, there exists a theory that was developed by a socialist who...
A socialist?
Yeah, like...
Oh my gosh, it's like half communist.
No, like somebody who was a major in sociology who did a theory that's called the disappointment theory.
Really?
Which
What's that?
that actually has literally shown to have had an impact on people's decision making.
Okay, tell us about it. Go, go, go.
I don't know that much about it, but if I can
Dude,
remember.
you can't
nice
just
one.
bring it up.
You can't bring it up and then
tell us
Google it.
Nothing about it.
I can go to Wikipedia too.
Oh, it's just like in the mid-'80s, David E. Bell created this theory, which was further developed by Robert Sugden and Graham Loomis, which they develop a disappointment theory to see the outcomes of like how people make decisions in terms of the impact of a disappointment which they got. But this was mainly based on big decisions like tax returns, big investments, and such things. And
What about marriage? What about getting
well,
kids?
that can overlap into everything. It can overlap into every in your entire life or your basic life. Because if you look at disappointment is there constantly, because what we anticipate or what we think about or what we expect a consequence or result should be, is not always how we had pictured it.
Well, that's life, though, isn't it?
It's life, true, but then the problem is like disappointment, I think, is just an impact which is, it's a consequence that has a bigger impact on you because it deviated from your initial thought or your initial idea that you had. So that's why like everyone experiences disappointment, but it just depends on the degree or the investment you also put. Whether it's time or it's effort, like you are trying to put time and effort in it, you invested your feelings as well.
Yeah.
Just like marriage, you can invest so much into a person where you're like,
yes,
I
you can.
really...
A ring. You know how much a ring costs?
My husband lost his ring. That was
Already?
I told you guys about
No,
that.
you never told me that he lost a ring.
Oh my gosh, I go around and tell people. People
You
don't
didn't
even
tell me.
listen to me. That's
And I was
such
the
a
one that-
disappointment.
And I married you guys. How could he lose the ring?
Well, you go talk to him.
I blessed that
You
ring.
you told him like even if you lose that ring, you're still going to be married. You see,
I did say that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
and I told him like,
Good.
no, you lost it. You will never get one again. It was like,
Wow.
because he wanted to have the expensive one too. And I told him like, you gotta take care of this one like a kid. And he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. Blah blah blah.
and then he loses it. That's very disappointing.
Yeah, but I got over it.
Yeah, but then that's the thing as well. Like, I think we can later also discuss the like, how do you deal with disappointment? Such as giving examples.
But I think
I deal with disappointment in 3 ways.
no, it
But
comes.
should we give Lynn maybe a chance to
Nope,
explain?
Lynn
that?
never talks. She just gives me the stare. Stop looking at me.
Oh, no.
Something's very wrong with you, Ed.
I know.
I don't know. I sound too happy. I don't like my latest disappointment. I can't even remember.
Well, I mean,
Well, I can remember that
you told us about one with a mirror.
with the rings. Yeah, but I mean that was still a disappointment. But I don't know, because I told him before it wasn't really a disappointment because it was just, you see, I told you that it's going to happen.
He was disappointed because he's like,
He was
oh
disappointed.
no, I did something where she could just say, see, I told you so. You should listen to me. You should do whatever I say. He's like, oh, okay. Right.
Exactly like that. No, but I think my greatest disappointment in life currently is that my mom got sick and then life does not turn out the way I thought it would, because it's really life-changing and it changes my plans for the future. It changes how I view time now. I mean, it could be a good thing, but it's disappointing in a way that suddenly there are new responsibilities ahead that I know that I gotta
That you got to take care of.
take care of earlier than I expected that I had to. And I know that my brother usually calls me, and almost every day he calls me and tells me about some disappointment he's going through and how horrible it is and how annoying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, suck it up.
Wow.
I told him like, suck it up, life
I kind of in a measure
happens.
also am similar to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I can talk to my family a lot of times, but I'm just like, well, I'm here in Sweden alone with no one, and I don't know where my next meal is coming from. I don't know. I don't have a job. I don't know what the future holds for me.
Yeah.
If you
There's
need
COVID
something
out
to eat,
there.
I'm looking for someone to breastfeed. So.
There's COVID out there. So what do you think is happening with me though?
Yeah.
Then can you maybe just like calm down and think rational about your decisions as well,
Yeah.
and decide what you want as well?
Well, but the thing is, it's quite a luxury to have this thing of deciding what you want, that you have options.
It's a privilege, actually.
Yeah, because a lot of
Rich people.
a lot of people in the world don't have that option to think of, oh, what's best for me, or what could I do, or what do I need to choose from. Most people like, there's one thing, you take it or you die.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That was brutal.
But you remember when we talked before this podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, I talked with my German friend, and she was like, and I told her that, well, there could be this and this happened. She said, you can always compare yourself to
To the lower ones. She meant the losers.
Yep.
No, but people have it worse. And because I told her there could be a coping strategy to compare yourself to people who have it worse. But then on the other hand, it doesn't get you anywhere.
No.
How do
Okay.
you cope with disappointments, Ed?
No, my life is just a big disappointment. It's normal for me.
Ed.
Please.
Okay.
Help
Probably.
our
I mean,
listeners.
but one, okay, so if you're really disappointed, now I'm going to be serious without sugar. If you're disappointed, first you have to decide if your expectation was realistic. And that's one of the problems, is that most people put their expectations based on something that you can't reach. I mean, the reason some people are disappointed with the way they look is because they're going after an illusionary, idea
ideal,
about what
yeah.
you're supposed to look like, which no one can look like that without surgery every 5 years or something. Hell, that too.
Less
Fake it
invasive.
all over the place. No.
Less invasive.
And then you have to decide if the disappointment is appropriate. It may not even be an appropriate response to the thing that you're going through. So you have to try to gain some insight and some truth into that, and that helps. And so,
But isn't that a maturity thing as well?
I mean, it's a combination of
think
things.
so.
It's like some people never have been given the tools for self insight. So they don't know
They
how
don't
to.
know it themselves.
No.
Exactly.
No, so people can look in the mirror and actually see a different picture of themselves than the one that's a true
Actually,
picture.
Yeah.
And that's like this thing inside your mind. Your mind is just lying to you, and you're like accepting the lie, because the process of accepting the truth means first releasing yourself of the lie. And now you have nothing to hang on to, and you've been hanging on to the lie for so long that it becomes comfortable. And now you have to release that in order to be able to accept this new reality. So you sort of release it, then you've got to open, and then you have to receive it. And that's a really difficult and painful process.
That's hard as an adult, I guess, or when you're older, because I followed this Swedish TV program. It's called Våra barns hemliga liv. There have been 2 episodes out, and the whole concept is that there are 2 children's psychologists, and they are studying some bunch of kids in the program, and they are just filming everything. And there are several occasions where the kids experience fear, pain, disappointment, anger, and the teachers are told to not intervene unless it gets like violent or something like that.
Wow.
Because in the program, those children's psychologists want to kind of educate people that we have taken away this chance for the children to learn about themselves, because we always try to take away those bad feelings, negative feelings. So instead of learning how to cope with like you're sad, or now you're disappointed, or now you feel you've been treated unfairly, instead of trying to learn how to cope with that, we are just, the teachers come, oh, okay, let's do something fun. Let's not have this feeling.
Yes.
So
Take the focus away.
and the children's psychologists say that it's really important for the kids to learn that, so they know that, okay, this is how I have self-insight. This is who I am. This is how I react. This is how I am when I cry.
How
This
old are
makes me
these
hurt.
kids?
4, 5, and 6.
5, 6, around there.
It feels like
You
torture.
don't know the
No,
show?
it's not torture.
I think it's a really good.
Really?
It's
You
not
people are
torture, because it's not.
brainwashed by the
It's not.
university.
It's not about like letting people cry themselves out or something like that. It's more about like they're maybe having a conflict, and one kid is disappointed and started crying, and then you observe how the other kids are reacting, how this kid is reacting. And it's not about like, oh, let them cry all day.
Okay.
It's not about that. It's more about to see. Then usually you see the other kids coming around, like ask them, hey, how are you? How do you feel? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So they're still in a group. It's not like it's
it's not.
a kid
No.
isolated in a little
No,
cell.
oh my
And
gosh.
there's like,
Oh my goodness.
here's your
we are
hamburger,
social.
and they like take the hamburger away. Say, now he's disappointed. Let's watch and see what happens.
No, I mean
It's
one
like-
of the situations is, for example, all the kids get lunch except for 2. And then
You just said it wasn't torture.
no, it wasn't, because obviously
wasn't.
in the end they do get their lunch, but they just want to see if the kids are willing to share, like the other kids, without the teachers telling them, "Oh, don't you want to share?" Like they are not. The teacher's just saying, "Oh, we're out of lunch. I'm sorry, there's no more lunch." And then
Okay.
you see those 2 kids. They're like, "But I haven't got any lunch." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's no more lunch." And then I spoil this program for you now. Eventually, the kids will share their food with them. And they say it's really interesting because only human kids share food with
Yeah.
other kids. There is no animal in the world who shares their food.
Well, my kids did share food with the cat.
Well, but they are
babies.
humans.
They're
We're talking about
humans
if
with compassion.
kittens have food and
They
they
would
will not
never.
share
They
with
go-
other kittens.
They brought it to my kids. Here's a
Survival
slime.
of the
Eat
fittest.
it. No.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Sorry. So
right.
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think disappointment and self-insight is something that we should try to install in our kids early on.
But then that sounds like almost like disappointment is actually a part of life.
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
What? You mean there's nobody out there who's going to take care of all my problems?
Nope.
That we have this expression in Sweden called curling parents. Curling, for those of you who don't know, is where you take a polished stone and slide it on ice. It just glides.
Is it the same as helicopter parents? No.
Yep.
No, because helicopter parents they're like standing around hovering.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of.
Yeah, so
Okay.
helicopter parents are hovering around you, and it's almost like a smothering kind of thing. So they're being really protective by hovering over you.
They have to control everything, where you are, what
Whereas-
you do, what
where
you...
curling is like, oh, no, you should never have to make any effort at all. We'll do it for you.
There's
And
an
so-
obstacle. Let me move it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, or no, just step on me so you don't hurt yourself on the obstacle.
Yeah.
And so, which of course we know that curling parents don't really help their children to mature, but neither do helicopter parents either. So I think that one of the things is that now that we're so far removed from things like death. We're far removed from things like how our food is actually made and processed and things like that. So the world that we live in becomes less and less real. And that means that our kids are growing up and are not equipped for the real world. So, and that scares me, like in this country where so many, like you're taken care of so much and so many things are just provided for you. But if something were to happen and that system were to fail, like World War III.
Or just like a cyber attack in Sweden. We'll be all
Yep.
burned. I mean,
What would happen like if there
like
was
the
no
doctors
internet?
can't write any prescriptions. They can't access
Wow.
your journal. The pharmacies cannot give you any medicine because they can't access the system. The schools can't really access anything. Now in Corona
University
times,
can
what you gotta do?
Can't
Everyone
access
only has a
anything.
phone. No one has a radio anymore.
Yep.
What if the
I got a radio at home. I
if the
listen to it
phone-
every morning.
Yeah, but what about the phone like network?
Yeah.
If that just breaks, what you gonna do?
What you going to do?
Well, see, if you had gone to shortwave radio school, and then you can
But
get on.
You guys, if you're concerned about that, go to our what's it called? Survival preparation.
Yeah, exactly.
Preparedness. I think it's
Yeah.
survival preparedness or
Yes.
something. Yeah. Listen to that episode.
During my prepper phase, it lasted for 2 days.
Lynn, what would you say to people who are experiencing disappointment right now and how to deal
Oh
with
my
it?
gosh, I'm not a good person in when it comes to this topic because my parents let me feel disappointment as a kid. I know how to deal with disappointment, not like in an arrogant way, but more in a sense of the insight that you know that you know yourself and you know that you will get through this and there will be brighter days ahead. So to not try to not get stuck in that moment, not to just not to
That was some Jesus stuff right there.
what.
That was some Jesus stuff.
There's no Jesus.
That was
Thank
deep.
you, Jesus.
Jesus comes and helps us right now.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get stuck Don't get stuck around in these thoughts. Don't think that the world goes under, because it doesn't. And I know that some things are really severe. They have severe consequences. They have things that they're really, really bad. But I think from my experience in my young my young years and my young life, I feel that things usually get better. They will never get the same. They will never be the same. They might not never be as good as you've expected or was before, but it will get better from the moment where you're experiencing disappointment.
But that would mean then that, so if a person, you just became disappointed about something really major that you had really invested a lot of time and energy into, didn't work out that way. That there's actually things you can do to help you to get through that. And one of those things is actually accepting the fact that there's very few things in life that are just this only one opportunity and no other opportunity, whether it's a relationship, a job, a career, whatever. And actually believing, because I think that believing that through this dark period, there's also a light period that comes after that.
Yeah.
Gives you the hope and the energy to persevere and to press forward. And there's things like prayer. So obviously, if you don't have a prayer life because you don't believe in God or something like that, then prayer is not really that effective. But for a lot of people who are people of faith, you can to do it, just fake it till you make it. But a lot of people, prayer, to ask for the help and the strength to get through that. Being able to talk to people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who keep things on the inside and never share anything with other people, then you don't really have anyone to help you to process that. And the other thing then would be to also not fall into despair. And despair is where you feel there is no hope.
No way out.
Yeah, and that sort of leads you to a really dark spiral. Yeah, because it's really important. I mean, when people, so I knew someone who had been in a relationship. The relationship ended. Like, I'm never gonna find anyone like him. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I'm like, you can find better than that.
Find better.
It's like, no, never. I'm like, no. See, that's the lie talking to you. That's the devil whispering in your ear. Stop it. I'm like, because they are better, okay? And you deserve better. Just think about it. Maybe this is a blessing. And so sometimes a disappointment is not really a disappointment. It's an opportunity to lose the dead weight of life so that you can move on in your race, And so it's, but we probably should talk about this again, maybe?
Yeah. Have another episode on
we can.
handling.
So this is episode 1.
Part
about
1.
handling disappointments. We're just kind of just really scratching the surface right now, but maybe we can get a little bit deeper. We can dive into that tunnel.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah.
And please don't forget to continue to send in your questions. Don't forget to send in your compliments. Yeah, if you have criticisms, keep them to yourself because we won't read them.
No, we want to hear that too.
I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, you're trying to make me honest today. Oops.
Thank you, Timmy, for coming. I hope you
Timmy.
come for our next episode as well.
Can you come for the next episode? Say yes.
Probably.
Don't say probably. Just say yes.
I don't want to disappoint
When
him.
That's good. That's really
yes,
good.
nobody can say no.
When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no.
Cool.
Okay,
Bye,
thank you, everyone.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Linh Nguyen and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.